Okay, we are on.
Hmm.
Um, Welcome, Rajesh Ji, for the 2020 match. Thank you so much for joining this session. I'm sure, with your loads and loads of experience that you have in real life as well as in sporting life, there's a lot people can listen and learn from you. And this incredible journey of yours, even I'm eager to hear. And I'm sure there are many things that I haven't heard or experienced from you. So I want to take this opportunity, to get to know the real Rajesh Shah.
Oh my God. You know a lot about me already. So,
Okay, so over to you, Rajesh.
okay. So, what do you want me to share with you first? My running journey or my.
Your personal life, your where you're from, basically, and what are you doing? What were you doing? You know,
Okay.
a little bit about your family, your son's interest in cricket. I know a few of that, so I'm already telling you about it. So,
Right.
just everything that you would like people to know about you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 So, well, I am born and brought up in Bombay, and we have five brothers. So, I'm the
Okay.
youngest of the lot. Yeah, youngest of the
Oh,
lot. So, being the youngest, and of course, I was pampered that way. So didn't have I had a very comfortable life growing up. But however, I always found that there was some lack of motivation that was there. So being the fifth child, when a mother raises five children,
mm.
by the time she comes to the fifth child, she's like sort of, abhi theek hai, it's run of the mill. So that sort of attention that was required uh, wasn't there.
Okay.
So that's where I saw this lacking in me, and which is why the desire, the drive to do something was not there. So I said, okay, fine. So I took it upon me that no, I need to do something. So while I was in college, this was I finished my schooling in 80, and I was doing my commerce graduation. In
Mm-hmm.
1983, I joined my brother's factory. So he was running a factory. They used to make household items in plastic. So I said,
Okay.
let me start doing something, making myself worthwhile. And that's how I started my career in business as such.
So, what was your age that time?
I was, I guess, 19, 64 born, so 1983.
Wow, that's pretty young for a guy
Yeah.
to enter business and.
So I was just learning with under my brother. So
Mhm.
just understanding what was there. And I realized that, yeah, this seems to be something where I am actually able to uh, show my worth, you know. So because nobody at home was that way interested in what I was doing, or because everybody was busy in their own life. My eldest brother and me, we are a 15-year gap difference.
Oh my God.
So he's more like a father figure to me than my elder brother. So that way, and my youngest brother is 5 years.
Hmm.
So
Oh,
this
okay.
age gap never allowed me to mix in a family that way. So I had a lot of
Hmm.
friends. There was no doubt. In our building, we had a lot of friends. And growing up, I had no issues at all. We had made a lot of friends. But this whole idea of self worth, which was lacking, I realized that. So that's how
Okay.
I got to working. And it was a great experience. I realized that I need to do a little bit more, so I started doing a diploma in plastics engineering because I was basically a
Oh,
commerce graduate, and there was a
okay.
lot about plastics. So I, became more proactive, started finding out where I can do some engineering programs and all.
Hmm.
So diplomas, I did it, in the evening. Morning, I would be working. So I joined a morning college. By the time college would get over by 10 o'clock, I would go straight to work. And in the evening, I would do this diploma. So that's how I started getting more and more familiar. And all this continued. And we had our ups and downs in businesses and all. I remember very clearly that the we had the India World Cup was going, the Reliance World Cup,
Okay.
1987.
80,
And
yeah, yeah.
uh,
Mm.
so
In
we had,
India. Mm.
yeah, in India, we had the final, and we had some labor problems in our country. So we took that day while the whole city was watching the matches. We decided to create a lockout. So we got rid of a lot of the materials and the molds and all, and then we declared a lockout with the help of the lawyers and all. And that brought about a big shift. When something big has to happen now, what I've seen, sometimes
Mm.
you're forced to bring about a change.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, the next 6 months we were working out of our office, but this
Okay.
whole process helped us to become larger than what we were.
Okay.
From a small 2, 3 galas, we started buying a bigger plot, and that's how we started working. That's how we.
Wow.
So, and this whole process where I took a greater bigger role in trying to set up the factory. So this journey gave me a lot of experience.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time 91, 92 came, uh, I asked my brother if was there any interest in me in some kind of a shareholding. But my brother is a partner with somebody else. So somewhere he didn't want to, disturb the apple cart. So he said, Rajesh, whatever you want, you start on your own. Uh, I will give you little money to start with your capital, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can take it forward. So
Mm-hmm.
92, I started my own company. So that's when I got into some precision injection molding. So
So
making
92, you must be around
I was
28.
28, 28. Yeah. So after taking around 8, 9 years of experience with
Mm-hmm.
then I started on my own.
That's pretty young. Oh, wow. Okay.
27, 20, 28, yeah, 28 I was. So I started this lovely. I started two companies, in fact, in 2 years. One
Mm.
I started was this injection molding of precision parts. We
Okay.
small tiny parts for gears and for typewriters and for
Mm-hmm.
audio parts. So these machines we imported from England,
Okay.
and we used to make it. So that was a very specialized industry because the machine is very small, like a tabletop.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's as big as a typewriter. And
Okay.
sometimes the normal injection machine, the molding machines are quite big. They're as big as your living room. That's how.
Mm-hmm.
So these were all precision machines. That was there. But I had a great desire into making children's products. So while this happened, 93, I started another company where I would start making children products, which would be birthday gifts and return gifts, packaging.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there, of course, we needed the bigger machines and all.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought a place on rent, and we bought some machines, and that's how we started working. And as luck may have it, we started doing very well. I was, of course, on my own. There was no help. So my brother supported me financially, so that wherever, because our industry, plastic industry, is quite a financially intensive industry. So you need a lot of working capital,
Mm.
capital, capital intensive. So that was it, and things started going fine that way. As we needing more space, we decided to go into backward area because there we were getting a lot of tax benefits. So we started developing. We bought a land in Menon. So there
Oh,
you get,
wow.
yeah. So there you would get income tax 5 years benefit, and you would get even sales tax 15 years benefit,
Wow.
5 years benefit. Sorry, and excise also was there. So there was some exemption in excise, and electricity was very low. So there were a
Okay.
lot of incentives for us to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Plus, in those days, our business was all a lot of land. We had to
Mm-hmm.
build a lot, and I was not
Mm-hmm.
very comfortable with that. So going there, because there was no sale tax and there was no income tax, so converting to white industry was not difficult at all from our side.
Okay.
So it became easier for us, and that is how we do it. And here there was an interesting thing that we did. So while I bought a plot of land. I wanted to build the building from scratch.
Okay.
So with the help of an architect, we did the designing of the building, and then what I did was, in order to get a 3D perspective, I took a friend of mine, and we went to the Chopati beach.
Okay.
To the Chopati beach, I actually drew the exact plot, the building that we were going to develop.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you
So
drew it on the sand beach.
on the sand, early morning on a Sunday morning at
Wow.
6:30, we went there. So we went there, and this was 93. Yeah. So my I was already married then. I got married in 92.
Oh.
So
So
this happened
your
in 92.
company started and your marriage are all in the bay at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. So I started my company in 92. I got married also in 92,
Hmm.
92 April. And when we bought a lot of land in Daman. This was in 97.
Okay.
97. So I had my brother-in-law there. So with his help, we took it. So I had a 20,000 square foot plot that was there.
Wow, that's a
So
good.
So to understand how much, trying to maximize the space that was available, how
Hmm.
much space to keep between two machines, what should be the
Hmm.
size of the raw material room, what should be the size of the assembly room. So all that, uh, if you just make it ad hoc, then there would be unnecessary wastage. So this
Hmm.
gave great perspective, and it was a ground plus two. So we did was one day we did ground floor, one day we did the first floor, then we did the second floor. So that's how we did it, and that gave me. I did a lot of saving as such that the entire building that we built, not a single brick wall was broken down. It
Oh,
was all
okay.
catered that way, and this how we. So I felt that was a great. Somebody gave me an idea. Why don't you do this? And that's how I started doing it. And I took great pride that Otherwise, I've seen in those days a lot of people would ये दीवार अच्छा नहीं है चलो तोड़ दो इसको छोटा बनाना है ये छोटा है इसको तोड़ दो बड़ा बना दो so a lot of other wastage was there, and that was considered as a part and parcel while building your uh, while making your building.
Hmm.
So here there was nothing of that sort. Plus, we needed trenches and all to ensure. So all other benefits that were required, to make it as neat as possible.
Okay.
So that happened, and things went on very well. We started growing comfortably. At one point of time, we had more than 200 employees working with us.
Wow.
So that was there. However, and of course, it was back to school, and then we did a lot of promotions in those days. So promotions for corporates, for back to school, for children's products. So we did work for Nestle, we did work for Cadbury's, we used to do work for Coke, Pepsi. So all
Oh.
these MNCs that were there, and we
Hmm.
needed large volumes. So since we had the infrastructure, we could do it. And so we had at one side we had corporate promotions that we were doing, and the other side we had our own brand that we were developing in the plastic sweets company.
Okay.
So that was trading in the market. So you develop your own brand, you create a distributor base,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
but of course there a lot of credit had to be given, and you have to be continuously in touch with the market. There's a lot of competition there because since we had a good brand, uh, any new product that we would make would get duplicated. So
Ah.
at one level, it was flattery that people are waiting for your products to come out and you would duplicate them. But it was always a challenge, because we come out with an X price and somebody else could develop it a little inferior at a lower price. You know.
I think this happens in all business, even in coaching business, this is happening.
Yes, 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 yes. It happens. It happens. I guess it's a part and parcel.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for me, this was the first time that things were happening. So learning the ropes of the trade, and because I was a one-man show, so I had a lot of things, wearing too many hats. So that was it. Plus, we had corporate promotion, so that was there. So what happened in all of this, because corporate promotions, the business volumes were very large.
Okay.
Uh, the traditional business now was not given too much attention. And as a result, what happened was that the traditional business started coming down, corporate promotion business started going up. But in those days, this was somewhere around, I think so, in 2001, 2002. Uh, what we realized is that suddenly these people who were doing corporate promotions by giving freebies, they decided to change their marketing strategy. So
Okay.
instead of giving free promotional gift items, they started investing in brand ambassadors, you know,
Okay.
so film stars and cricketers and all. So that's where all the promotional money was being spent. So
Oh.
overnight,
Okay.
what happened was the budgets for promotion gift items almost came down by 90%.
Oh
And
my
here,
God.
these people were investing in brand development. So I remember, so we did a lot of work for Munch, the chocolate that is there, Cadbury.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
So, and they made Rani Mukherjee the brand ambassador for Munch. And I said, why is she becoming brand ambassador? Because they're taking the business from us. That's how it is. But
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. So I was left between the devil and the deep sea. So either say my traditional business, which I had built up, now suddenly I was not giving much attention to it. And here corporate promotion, which was giving me a lot of business, now suddenly was plummeting. And now coming back here, I had to again rebuild everything. And so it was a challenge here. So in all of this, the Chinese imports and all started flourishing. So there was simultaneously a parallel market that was being generated. So
Okay.
because we were back to school products and gift promotions and birthday return gifts. So I thought at one point of time, I thought, for a 50, 60 rupee item, where are the Chinese imports going to affect? Because they were importing all the other items. I said, nobody would be interested in importing such small items.
Mm.
But I was too wrong because they started importing left, right, and center, anything that was available. So
Okay.
very short time,
Mm-hmm.
we had parallel, we had manufacturers at one end, and then simultaneously we had importers also. But the
Oh.
market was the same, you know, market was the same. So you had the same retailers that were there. So that became a challenge for us. So I said, if you can't beat the importers, you join them. So
Mm-hmm.
joining them, I started importing. And with having very little experience in imports, you know, uh, uh, I went there, we got certain items, but not realizing the cost impact and all that would be there. The selection of products and all was not right. So uh, that made our hole bigger because we imported items, but they were not selling, and then we had dead stock lying with us. So all this was making the business more difficult to manage. So we said,
Okay.
okay, in order to do this, we started getting a marketing team developed. Getting a marketing team developed, marketing costs are extremely high,
Yeah, yeah.
and very organized setup. We had a national manager, and then we had regional managers, and then we had area sales managers and all. So all these, we had a team of around 45, 50 people managing all of this.
Oh.
So all of this, and I had zero experience in this kind of professional marketing setup. So I completely trusted the national manager that was there. Now, in all of this, the business was not being generated because expenses almost doubled and tripled, but the business was not generating that much revenue. So,
Mm-hmm.
I was biting more than I was, what I think I was chewing more than I could bite over there.
Mm-hmm.
So it became more and more difficult for me to
Mm.
manage the show. And things started, I could sustain it for 1 year, 2 years, but 3, 4 years continuously in a row, just to manage and break even was becoming more and more difficult. So 2006, it was, I think, so 2006, I spoke to my brother. I said, it's going very difficult, one man show for me managing this marketing team and production. and managing the finances and managing the manpower, HR, and all that is there. So it's becoming very difficult for me, and there is more stress than me. So he told me, Rajesh, if things cannot manage, you can't manage it, you just decide to shut shop. So we decided to sell the brand per se. But in those days, we couldn't find somebody. After waiting for a year or so, we decided that no, since we can't sell the brand, uh, everything together, let's do it piecemeal. So sell the machinery separately, the mold separately, and the land separately. But that made didn't give us the exact value that we wanted. And as a result, I landed up with a huge debt. So by the time we wound up, it took around 2.5 years. I
My
was down
God.
by, yeah, I was down by around 6.5 crores.
Oh my God.
So I said, so I said now, uh, but the whole decision was to cut off because I just couldn't sustain the way things were moving forward. I could, and by the time then we sold off the land, the building, and everything. So that 6.5 crores brought it down to 4.5 crores. I still had 4.5 crores to pay by the time I had cleared up everything.
Oh my
Now
God.
I didn't have the uh, in my eyes, I felt I was a failure.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have strength to take any risk because there was absolutely zero confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And zero confidence, wherever I would go, I would be completely demotivated. And that's when, the gift of running came to me. This was in 2006.
Okay.
While I was combating this whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
I said, let me start. There was nothing that was motivating me. So I said, the only thing that you can motivate is, do something that will give you I didn't have the money to spend anymore. I had two young children. 2006, my son and daughter were 97 and 99. They were 7 and 8 years old.
Oh, okay.
Fortunately, she was working, so she was managing the show for me. While I had zero income, she was, at least we could manage the house expenses and the children's expenses that were two growing children. So that is when the gift of running came to me. I said, okay, fine, with walking and yoga, I tried. It was not motivating me. So I
Mm-hmm.
started at the race course.
Mm-hmm.
And the first day I ran, I felt that, oh, I felt nice that, okay, I've gone and I've run probably, let's say, 500 meters. And the whole race course round is around 2.15 kilometers. So I
Okay.
could jog, I could do walks. At the end of that 2.15 kilometers, I felt, a sense of a small achievement that I
Oh
did
wow.
something. I did something because there was nothing that was there to motivate me. The only thing
Mm-hmm.
that motivated me is that if I did something to myself. So that's how I slowly started running. That's how
Mm-hmm.
running came into my life. And of course, I think so. 2005, the Stanchart Marathon happened, right?
Yes, yes.
So, yeah. So the first year, the Stanchart route is right below my village. So the
Okay.
first year when we saw these, um, these blacks running, the way they ran, it just took my breath away. I said, "This is what I want to do. I want to run like them." I had I had zero. I had not done. I had no exercise. My fitness levels were completely zero. I was not doing any kind of fitness training. So I said, okay, fine. Let me. That's how I started doing walking and yoga and all. 2005 to 2006 May. In 1 year, I did walking, yoga, but nothing motivated me. Then 2006 May, in order to, I registered for the Dream Run, which was 7 kilometers.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
how I started running. That's how I started running. So 2006 May, the first year,
Mm.
I did the Dream Run that was there. The Dream Run. And then subsequently, I said, okay, fine, this is something that I can actually take it forward. And but I thought 2 kilometers I was running and 2 rounds I running 4.5 kilometers. So so 4.5 kilometers I felt means I have run like a full marathon. I was so exhausted. I was so exhausted.
Mhm.
And then one day my friend told me that, I see you running. You run quite decently.
Mm.
So I think so you can do the half marathon. I said, of course. You know, I barely managed to do the dream run, in which it was a
Mm.
walk jog. And here I do 2 rounds of the race course, 4 kilometers, and I am completely finished. And you expect me to run 20 kilometers. So there, you just multiply, 4 kilometers, a half marathon, 5 times over. So that's how it was. But he said, no, no, you can do it. All what I did was
Mhm.
I just believed in it. I said, okay, fine. If you say so, let's give it a try.
Okay.
That's all what I said. And I said, okay, fine. So this whole thing about allowing
Mhm.
somebody's belief or somebody's judgment or perception to let it inside mine. That's how I started running. That's how I started running. That's how. So
Wow.
this was yeah. So this was the first innings of my life. That was there. Yeah.
Good. So, in this journey, how did you get your confidence back? I know it's such a big loss, like 4.5 crores and all this stuff.
Hmm.
I know any person in your state would have either committed suicide or done something stupid, but
Hmm.
you just pushed on. I mean that's an incredible thing that no matter how much loss you faced, you didn't you didn't go to that edge and give up. So
Hmm.
what is that secret sauce that made you keep on fighting?
So I guess I don't know if it's a secret sauce, but I guess now in hindsight, when I see
Mm-hmm.
that when destiny has to take you to a different path, sometimes you are forced to make decisions so that you can change your path.
Okay.
So this whole idea about getting into corporate promotions, I had a very flourishing traditional business that I was doing. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but getting into corporate promotions, making that grow so that I would get distracted and give the traditional business less time. And then the corporate promotion also, plummeting. And then getting into imports, so making a
Mm-hmm.
larger hole, making a
Mm-hmm.
larger hole. And then getting into proper professional marketing setup, wherein expenses were just skyrocketing. So all this made my whole larger and larger, which forced and compelled me to actually shut shop. Now that I think in hindsight, had I not had such a large hole, I would have still continued. Either somewhere here and there, I would have still managed to break even. But my whole journey in professionalism, the business that I subsequently went on to, like I talk about my second innings about consultancy,
Yeah.
uh, happened only had to probably surface only after this thing had to completely shut down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So while I was taken up, it's like when a child is when a mother is nursing a baby in her stomach. The first 9 months, she is all the time wondering, "Oh my God, I'm pregnant, pregnant, pregnant. When will this thing get over?"
Mm-hmm.
Only to realize when the child is born, you realize that you have another whole mountain to climb.
Exactly.
Exactly. So a pregnancy abhi khatam hoga. Abhi now I have to grow this, I have to nurture this baby.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with the first day. How do you breastfeed?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're going to come home and then you're going to breastfeed the child, and if the child you don't learn how it is, and then it's so frustrating, all that. So that whole gamut that is there. So this whole thing about getting getting my business to a peak wherein I had to then shut shop, and then coming to a low. It's like my Achilles heel where I had absolutely zero confidence to
Mm-hmm.
invest any money. So I said, okay, fine. That's how, I just wanted to do something that would make my self-worth rise again. The whole issue of self-worth came back again to me. And that's how I started. I joined the network marketing business because their money investment was very little, but the business opportunity was very good.
Okay.
And that network marketing business helped me to start my, build my base once again, build my base. And in this network marketing business, I found another line of business that was there. So the
Hmm.
product the network marketing business was manufacturing or was selling, I was making accessories to those, and I was
Oh,
selling online. I was selling them online to the network itself,
wow.
and the network was a global network. So this industry never existed, and I created one.
Wow.
So that gave me, more and more comfort and confidence to one by one rise again.
Hmm.
So this happened in 2008 when I joined the network marketing business. 2009, I started my this online accessories, and both went parallelly.
Okay.
So while the online business gave me revenue, hmm, and I could slowly repay off all my loans, I got tremendous support from my family at that time.
Hmm.
My family gave me tremendous support. So immediately we had to first clear the bank loans that were there. So the bank loans were cleared. So with all the land building and everything, I could at least clear off the bank land loans. Then we had the other unsecured loans that were there, whom we sort of made an agreement with. So one by one, so they were not harassing me. So that was the good part. And for this, my family really helped me because they spoke to everybody, and you know everybody understood that okay, fine, this guy is going through a challenge. But I now realize that they were actually more in awe of me because I was not crumbling.
That's
I
what.
was
That's important.
I was not crumbling, and I my brother spoke to me later on. He said, if I was in your place, I don't know how I would have sustained.
Yeah, yeah. Same thing. I'm just when I listening to your story itself, I'm thinking, it's so difficult to even sustain this.
Yeah. So I have realized that any kind of pressure is good, but a financial pressure really it completely breaks you down.
Mm.
And I just held myself, and it's only God's grace that is there, and I'm completely grateful that He showed me the path what needs to be. So I took every day one day at a time.
That's
So
yeah.
I
That's a big lesson. Taking one day at a time.
one day at a time. So while there was tremendous anger and frustration because I
Mm.
had no blame. It was all my undoing, my wrongdoing.
Mm.
And
Mm.
my wrongdoing, and because I put the entire blame on myself, I was angry with myself and nobody else. So I realized somewhere, of course, this is all in hindsight, that running actually helps you release your anger.
Mm.
So while I would go and finish my morning runs, I would come back completely charged and motivated. And that energy and adrenaline would help me to sustain through the day.
Wow.
And by the time the nights would come, and then of course all the thoughts would come back, and next morning you again would go out and release your frustration by working out, get your energy and adrenaline recharged, and then again sustain the next day. So like
Oh.
that, there was an exchange of energy on a daily basis. On a daily
So
basis.
so running was your therapy.
It was my balance. Running was my balance. It helped me to, gain my grounding, my foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Regain my foundation. And that's how step by step, I slowly started getting more and more confidence. More and more
Wow.
confidence. That's how it was there. So I was there, and then of course we were running 2006 to 2008. We were running at the race course, and we had a whole group that was there that were running. And one person in the group was our Anil Ambani. You know, so Anil Ambani would come, and every Sunday he would come. And in those days, everything was very hunky dory. So he was a very nice gentleman, and we had a whole group, 6, 8 people, around 10, 12 people would be there. And every Sunday
Okay.
he would come and run with us.
Wow.
Yeah, so we would run at Nariman Point, and we would wait for him because that was the time 6:15. He would be there on the dot, and we
Wow.
would come back, and it gave us such a high, that oh my, such a big guy business tycoon is there and he's running with us. Just like, it's a level playing field. That's how. Then nobody's differentiating anybody. Whether you are a 100 crore company or you are just a small, employee. So that's how it was. So those days of running were extremely uh, satisfying. you And that's how I started running marathons one after the other. 2000, I think so 2007 was my first, 2006 or 7 was my first half marathon I ran.
Wow. And what is your timing?
My timing that time was 2 hours and 43 minutes. 2 hours and
Oh,
40.
wow. Good. Not
So,
bad.
so then because then I started doing, I ran some other races out of Bombay also. So I did Goa in 2009. I did Auroville and
Mm.
so that was there. And then some races in Vasai, Virat, all those races. But in a year, I would run 1 or 2 races. But running was regular. Running was regular.
Mm-hmm.
That was that
So
was
when
there.
did you do your first marathon?
So while my entire race course group, they all graduated from doing the half marathon to the full marathon.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the only one left behind, and I would all the time I would just question. I had only one answer. I said, Rajesh, you're doing a half marathon, 21. You want to do a full marathon, it's 42. It's double the distance. You can barely manage to do a half. Huh? Where are you going to do double the distance? Forget it. Let
Mm.
them do what they want to. You just run.
Mm.
And I was a loner at race course. There was nobody graduated to running full marathon. So that's when I said, okay, fine, let me start running on the road because then I didn't want to run alone at the race course. So
Mm. Mm.
there I would see my other friends and all
Mm.
running, and some other friends who were not part of my race course group, but they were in my locality. So I knew them, and I would see them, and they also started running the full. And I don't know how. So Vaishali, then my wife, she told me,
Mm.
Rajesh, to do the full marathon, you need to train under sun. So you need to train. So that's when I decided that okay, fine. So it took me exactly. I'm just thinking. It took me 18 months to
Okay.
mentally decide that I want to do a full marathon.
Oh.
So 2012 or February 2012 February is when I decided. The second day, the day immediately after the half marathon got over stand chart, I went to Savio and I said I want to run the full marathon. But 18 months before that is when the seed was sowed. I want to run, but I was undecided. I want to run, but no, Rajesh, I can't. So there was this lot of jig happening. So it took me 18 months to completely decide that no, I think so. Now I'm mentally ready that I want to run.
So that time, what was your timing when you finally said, okay, I want to run a full marathon? What was your half marathon timing?
My half marathon timing. Can I can I just see? I don't know exactly
Yeah,
which
you
time.
must be having every data with you. I'm sure.
Yeah, I have my data. So I'm just seeing my uh, so my 2 hours and 26 minutes. My 2012 Standard Chartered half marathon. 2 hours 26 minutes and 49 seconds. So that was my timing.
Acha.
Mhm. And that's so. Then this was it. So anyway, so acha, I have to tell you one more thing. So in this whole journey, I found a great mentor,
Hmm.
and this great mentor of mine was Louise Hay.
Sorry, Louis?
Louise Hay. Louise
Okay.
Hay. So Louise Hay is a motivational speaker. So she's an American now. She's no longer there, but she's written so many books, and I think I've spoken to you about her.
Hmm.
So one fine day, one of my friends told me that going through your challenges in life, a lot of the problems are self-created. So why don't you read this book for you to understand yourself better?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's how I realized, that there is no blame in life. Okay, so if you blame
Mm-hmm.
anybody else, then you can't
Mm.
bring about change. So it's
Of
only
course.
when you
Mm.
take responsibility for all your actions, that's
Mm.
when you start, moving forward. So Louis Hay taught me a lot, and in this whole journey, I realized, huh? Na आता करना, आता करना. So this is in that she made me understand something about mind-body connection.
Okay.
That, yeah. So while I was learning, uh, training to do the full marathon, I suddenly found a patch on my forehead.
Okay.
So I didn't realize it, but my daughter one day she was just stroking my hair, and suddenly she's saying, "Dad, what is this patch?" And I saw this a white patch on my forehead, right below my scalp, where my hairline started.
Mm-hmm.
So my father-in-law, being a doctor, he said this is a patch of vitiligo. So I immediately realized that there is some mind-body connection which needs to
Mm.
be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
So what the mind-body connection says is that anything that you are manifesting in your body in form of an ailment, that
Mm.
first originates from your mind.
Perfect. I agree with this. Yeah.
So it's only when you start internalizing that whole thought process that
Mm-hmm.
if it's affecting you, it starts manifesting in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So all, whether it is an injury, whether it is an accident, whether it is a disease, or
Mm.
something as big as cancer or maybe something, everything originates from the mind.
Mm.
And when I saw that what vitiligo actually uh, connoted to, so I said, it means that basically you are feeling out of place.
Mm.
When I was training, I started training in March, but by the time I reached August, July, August, I to do 25 kilometers, I was completely exhausted, and I said that, within first 3-4 kilometers, these pack of people would already have left me and I would be far behind.
Mm.
And I said, how am I going to beat these people? How am I going to run? And
Mm.
Raja's way of training is through power of association. You all run together, and that's how you get better and better.
Mm.
And I didn't realize that I was actually feeling left out. So I was feeling out of place, and that is how this whole vitiligo patch surfaced.
Ah, okay.
The moment I made the connection that, oh,
Mm-hmm.
fine, this is how it is, uh, I need to start. So I started expressing myself. So whatever my fears, my anxieties were, I started expressing. So I spoke with
Mm.
my runner.
Mm.
What is happening? That what is how is it happening? So he said, okay, fine, this is happening today. Okay, you run slowly. He told my other friends also to run slowly, and that is how what used to happen was my heart rate used to jump. I used to run with them, and within the first 3 kilometers, I was already in anaerobic state.
Mm.
So the moment I'm in anaerobic now, if I have to do 21 and 25 training, where am I going? Body temperature is already gone up.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
am I going to sustain?
Mm.
So I never knew all this. I never
Mm.
all knew all this. So then I would just go slowly, slowly, chug along, chug along. And running is all mind over matter. So eventually
Mm-hmm.
I would do it. Eventually I would do it. But it took that much effort out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Every training, I would be giving 95%. Every single training without knowing. But nevertheless, I did it. So I managed to arrest the vitiligo patch, and
Mm-hmm.
that gave me a great sense of achievement. Okay, somewhere
Mm.
I wanted to do it, and I did. Of course, then I ran the uh, full marathons. So in the next 3 years, 2 years, that is 2013 and 14, I ran four full marathons. That's how it was.
Okay, so what was your
But
first full marathon?
Vasai, I did the first full marathon. I did 5 hours and 14 minutes. 5 hours and
Okay,
27. Hmm.
okay,
In Bombay, I did 5 hours and 9 minutes. 5
okay,
hours and 9 minutes. Then again, Vasai, I did in 2014. Vasai, I did again 2014 minutes. And Bombay, I did 2000, 5 hours and 6 minutes.
okay. So how did MFS happen to you?
So what happened was that when after I finished 4 full marathons, it was all, every marathon was a struggle. And I then decided that no, I didn't want to do full marathon. It was taking too much out of me. So I said, let
Mm-hmm.
me just stick to my half marathons. I would do my half marathons, but
Mm-hmm.
I knew something was missing.
Mm-hmm.
That I knew that my heart rate was going up, but I didn't know how to bring it down. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
I read, whatever people I spoke to, they
Mm-hmm.
never gave me an answer.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had this inkling that no, something is connected to this, because if my heart rate would be down, then I would be fine. But I just didn't have the answer that who would be able to train. So in
Mm-hmm.
all quest, from 2014, 2014 actually, I took a gap year because my father-in-law was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh.
So that whole year, because I knew so much about mind-body connection and believed so much about it, I
Mm-hmm.
used to go every morning to his house to help him bring about more positive thoughts. So completely create a positive mindset in him. So one of the greatest criteria for overcoming cancer is to have a completely positive mindset.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And cancer stems from deep-rooted resentment.
Exactly. Mm.
Yeah. So making them understand what it is all. So making him introspect into his personal life. And he's a doctor. So from a medical field to coming to a metaphysical field, it's a big challenge,
It's a big challenge, definitely.
Why he at one level he understood, you know, but the conscious mind, the would never allow him to apply. So I would go every morning. I said, I don't mind, I will not run, but every morning I would go to his house and we would read. I would just read out to him. And that is how, slowly, slowly things got a little better. And so 2014 was a gap year for me for running. I just barely did something here and there. That's all. So 2016, Zarir, if you remember.
I know.
So while this 14, we had finished a full marathon, we started doing triathlons in 14 and 15. So running triathlons, we would do our own triathlons, And that time triathlons were not very popular in Bombay. But because Zarir and Pulin and all of my friends who were also uh, good runners and full marathoners and all, so we said let's start doing some cycling and then let's start doing some swimming. So that's how we started doing our own triathlon. We did an Olympic triathlon. We did, small sprint triathlons and all inside amongst ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
14 and 15. So we did two, three there. And that's when Zarir came to your swimming camp in Goa,
Yeah.
2016. And
Mm.
he told me, that Rajesh, I think so you must talk to this gentleman Menon. And he sounds very technically very sound, and I think so. Your answers you will get from him. So I said, okay, fine. Coincidentally, the same within 48 hours, Pulin, my other friend, who also had come to you for the camp, he
Mm-hmm.
also said the same thing to you. So they all had come to you for getting their open water swim polished,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got it.
open water swim. And they saw this, and he also said that he is technically very sound while he is swimming. So that's when I had a word with you. I think in 2016 September.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and in the conversation only, in the phone call only, I at first I decided I will first understand from him, and then I'll start doing on my own. I, this is what I had pre-decided. But when
Mm.
I spoke to you, I said, "No, boss, I am going to train with you under you." So I said, "Let's start." So I took a decision from coming to of course, nobody was doing personal training at that point of time.
Yes,
We all
yes.
we
Mm.
all were training under Savio, and we used to pay Savio 1,200 rupees a month. So from 1,200 rupees a month, to jump to 5,000 rupees a month, I
Mm.
thought, Rajesh, how are we going to do it? It's too much. But I said, no, I think so to kar that. Just do it. Fir dekha jayega. Let's see. Let's give it 3 months or 6 months. That's how it. And after that, there's no looking back.
Yeah, of course. I mean, since then till now, I think uh, your journey has been incredible. And I don't, the only reason I feel it's been incredible because you have been so passionate about your own progress, you know. Uh, I remember whenever I used to get a call from Rajesh Shah, I knew it's not going to last for only 5 minutes. There was real, serious talk, and the analysis that had to be done, and you know, while while that was very good for me, because uh, to meet such a passionate person, who would ask me question left, right, center, where did I go wrong, what is it, X, Y, Z, no, you tell me this,
Mm.
what is cadence, why is the cadence slow, what, how can I do this, and I mean every question was so precise, I would say. And you know, and the data sheets that you would prepare and send it in Excel sheet. Right from, I think, to since the day we started, you have exactly all the math tests, time trial tests, and everything recorded.
Yes.
And your approach, what I liked about you was your approach. You were not greedy for jumping into full marathon at all. You gave yourself a lot of time. You told one thing, you told, and you set your bar high,
Mm.
that you will do a sub two half marathon, and only then you'll think about full,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I think you took 1.5 years or more to even think about full marathon, right?
So, when we started in 2016 September,
Mm.
so that time my time was around 240.
Mm. Mm.
And you told me to do the Vasai, which was in December, at a very consciously slow pace. So how you train under MAF, which was
Mm.
the most frustrating period of my life. Huh?
Mm.
To run slow and completely going contrary to what you normally run. Okay, so in order to run fast, you have to first run slow. Now, in anybody's sane mind, he will think you're mad. You're mad. But all I did was I trusted you.
Mm.
Said, okay, fine, karo. You know, you are saying there is some truth in what you are saying. Let's give it a try. Painful journey, very painful, extremely painful. But from there on, that 3 months that I uh, completely gave you and trusted what was there, that's when the results then slowly started showing. You know.
Mm.
So what happened was that because the math, whatever math runs that I would do, with progressive time, I could do longer distance in the same time. So I realized at the same heart rate,
Mm.
time,
Mm.
the distance was gradually increased.
Mm.
So that's when I decided that okay, fine, now in 2017 I'll do more marathons
Mm.
in order to progress, in order to see my progress. So, which is when in 2000 and after the Standard Chartered Marathon, I did that year in 2017. I did 6 more marathons, and in all 6 of them, I continuously improved my time.
Yeah, they were half marathons, right? We didn't do full
So
marathon.
they were all half marathons. They were all
Yeah.
half marathons. So I continuously progressed. So with every race, because at that time I given a target of doing a 6 hour marathon, 6 hour pace,
Mm.
6 minutes per kilometer.
6 minutes.
That was the first target of 2017 when you had asked me,
Mm. Mm.
which I achieved in Delhi. And then subsequently, next year we said, okay, fine, I want to do a sub two.
Yeah.
That was in
And I,
2000.
I think finally when you did a sub two, you said you want to do a full marathon.
So when I finished, I did the sub two. That was in Delhi. Uh, then I had a lot of bonus runs. While you
Mm.
told me not to improve, not to run too many races. I didn't do too much. I just kept, it's like when you are riding on a high, then you must maximize whatever is there.
Mm.
So that year I did a Delhi in 156. in
Mm.
2018. And after that, subsequently, I ran around 4, 5 marathons. And every race, I improved my time. So from 156, I came down to 151. 149, sorry, 149 in January, February.
Yes.
That's when I decided that, okay, now I'm ready to do a full
Mm. But it was not easy because even I got a call from your wife, Babiji.
marathon. What did she tell you? This is news to me.
Oh, you are the you know it, right?
Huh? Oh,
Saying I the last person I expected to convince him for a full marathon was you, and
okay. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, so she has seen my journey in
Hmm.
2013, 14, how I used to struggle.
Hmm.
After after coming back from a long run and before going to work, I would sleep.
Hmm.
I would get ready. I would have my breakfast, wear my shoes, clothes, everything, get ready completely as though I'm just to leave for work.
Hmm.
I would come and sleep. For half
Okay.
an hour to 1 hour, I would sleep so that I could recover myself.
Hmm.
Then
Hmm.
I would go to work. Otherwise, it was extremely challenging over there. I would be so sleepy. By the time I would reach at work, 11 o'clock only, I would be sleepy.
Hmm.
So, but so having seen that, she didn't want this
Hmm.
to be not
Hmm.
realizing that, okay, now, everything has changed. The
Hmm.
style, the fitness, the technique, all that helped. Which is the reason why I was after you.
Hmm.
Only because I knew that if I improve my technique, then
Hmm.
automatically the timing would come.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
mm, that's what.
Yeah, no, I mean it was nice to see you finish a marathon.
Mm,
But more important, I think you this Delhi you did it in 4:16, right?
4:15.
Yeah, 4:15,
Mm,
which is really incredible.
mm.
So I could see the expression in your face, and more important, more than the expression in your face, your wife's face or Babaji's face was like she was like over the moon with
Yeah,
your timing.
very happy.
And she was like, he doesn't look as if he's run a marathon. He looks still so fresh. Huh?
Yeah, yeah. So
And
I've spoken to I've always preferred to do negative splits.
yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So and that helps me finishing strong, and
Mm,
it's a good aftertaste feeling rather than struggling in finishing and probably finishing 2 minutes faster. I rather go slow and do a negative split, which made me feel better. So that formula helped me to work that way.
yeah, I'll tell you, you are, I think, one of the 0.1% runners who can do a negative split because every time I give my other trainees negative split, they say, are you gone mad? How is this possible? Then I always give your example. I said, if
Uh,
Rajesh Shah can do it, you should also be able to do it. He's a living example that negative splits are possible in a marathon.
you also do negative splits, isn't it?
Yeah, I also do, but
Uh,
you know, see, they never consider me in their league, right? They'll always say, "You are a coach, you do your own thing." You
mm,
know,
yeah,
when you are a coach and you eat your own food, people don't think that it's a great thing, But when other people do it and they see somebody else, being able to do that, then they feel, okay, yes, it is possible. So I think in that aspect,
mm,
you have nailed the thing quite well. How you pace yourself,
yeah,
the way the cadence, the HR heart rate, you
mm,
know, you make sure that it does not spike up in
yeah,
the beginning itself, and you're it's a very controlled race for you,
yeah,
and I think that's a very big learning for many runners. I would say even experienced runners should learn the way you pace yourself. You know how you pace it every kilometer. You know exactly where you are and how much you need to run faster. In your race reports, also you tell oh, at the 17th kilometer I was little bit behind by 3 minutes, but you thought you'll cover it up in the next 2 kilometers, and I mean it's like a yeah, running movie story that's going on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes.
Uh,
Yeah. So,
so I mean the data sheets that I've always shared the sheets that you sent to me to everyone,
mhm.
and uh, and I'm happy, that whatever prediction I've given, it has come true.
Yeah. So for Ahmedabad, when you told me, okay, I think so you can do a 429. I said, bloody shit, I'm training for a 420 and you are telling me 429. That means why are you saying this way? Then after that, you revised it and you said, no, I think so 426 you can do it.
Hmm.
So I said, okay, fine, chalo, theek hai. So that's how. So 2, 3 minutes bettering your time, I was okay with. And your timing is always quite accurate, because based on training reports,
Yeah.
what is your ability. Here also, you had said that you would do a 417.
Yes.
You had said you
Yeah.
would do 17.
Yeah. I knew
Then
because you were round about that. I didn't want you to push too hard, and
I want to do a
Uh,
I wanted to do a 411.
mm,
I realized that the 30-kilometer marker that I was not going to do it. So I said that
mm,
I don't want to spoil the race. I said,
yeah.
now let me focus on the negative split and let's work it that
Yeah. No, I think that's a wise decision because
way.
you would have pushed, you would have got a little more time, bad timing then.
Yeah, yeah. So here, this whole I want to, since everybody is going to be listening to it. So the whole idea about learning to pace your race. I have taken a great leaf from Virat Kohli's book.
Mm-hmm.
You pace their innings.
Mm,
It doesn't matter the chase. Whatever the total is.
mm,
No, they have complete self belief that towards the end I'll be able to pick it up.
mm,
They
mm.
understand and understand the track, understand the pace, understand the mindset of the opposition team. You know, build, take the total as deep as possible.
Exactly.
Take
Yeah.
the total game as deep as possible, and then go for the kill.
Mm, mm,
That's exactly what I said. That don't just allow your heart rate to sustain as long as possible.
mm,
Then
mm, mm.
you can give it the push. Whether it's last five or last seven or last three, whatever is there. So that's when you look. But if you burn yourself out early and your heart rate goes up, then it's difficult to push.
Mm, mm.
Difficult to push. So that's what was the big learning from these people. Actually, sports teaches us so much.
Exactly. Actually.
Sports teaches us so much. Yesterday, I was listening to, uh, watching a video of Michael Phelps,
Mm,
and he spoke about small things making such a big difference. And he used to train with no with closed eyes
okay.
in the darkness, uh,
Mm,
just so that in future or in case of an accident wherein uh, water would go into his eyes and he won't be
mm,
able to see, then
mm.
he should not be uh, it should not come as a surprise to him.
My God.
That's how his coach used to train.
Wow.
It genuinely happened in one of the races in London. I think London or Beijing, I don't know.
Mm,
It was 100 meters butterfly, and within the first 25 meters, water went into his eyes. So he swam the entire 75 meters with closed eye,
my God.
and he won the gold. And he won the gold, really.
If we swim with closed eyes, I think I'll be at the first lane if I start from the last lane. I'll be swimming across.
But that's the good thing. The small things make such a big difference.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Small things about training with closed eyes, which can be so insignificant. Okay, TK, coach has told me I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
but doesn't matter, just do it. So small things make the big
Cool, very nice. So, tell me about your friend circle. I mean, you have fabulous friends around you. Like
difference.
Zarir sir is there,
Yeah.
and then quite a few friends you always keep mentioning.
Mhm.
So talk to me about your friend circle, and how what are they doing, and how they have motivated you into doing all these, and how you have motivated them. I think it's always a mixture of
Yeah,
motivating each other.
it's motivating each other. It's motivating each other. So, of course, we have a big running circle here, and I think so. The single largest common denominator amongst all of us is our discipline. So I think so that goes with a lot of runners. But when we say it's a 6 o'clock run that we're going to run, everybody is there by 5 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
6:02 means you're late, you know, and 6:03 they've already started their run.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is there. So when you have like-minded people working together, then a lot of you start sharing a lot of other aspects also about your life, other aspects, and you start moving around together. You start going around together. So and then running happens, alongside that. So a lot of my friends, whether it's Pervin or Nimisha or me, Boris or Zarir or Pulin, Ninag, all these people, we all were half marathoners. We all graduated to full marathoners, of course, in different parts of the year, depending upon how. And we just each other's success just rub on each other. We are not we are all the time motivating each other. We don't get we are not jealous that that person is doing better than me. Huh? We give him confidence. We take confidence out of him. In fact, it eggs us to do better if somebody is done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in a way it helps. It's a positive motivation that is there. It's
Mm-hmm.
a positive motivation that. So unfortunately, Zarir could not pursue because of his full marathon journey. In fact, could not pursue his full marathon journey because his knees have actually given way, which is why now he's focusing more on running.
Mm-hmm.
But slowly he's getting back. At least he started running back to doing half marathon. And whenever we have these international marathons, it's like a big. We create a special chat group, and we are tracking each and every runner, whoever is there, and the whole group is so excited, because we are all chatting, motivating each other, and discussing how he's going to perform, what happened to the other person, why. And that runner, when he subsequently reads the chat to see what was there, he feels he feels so elated and so grateful that all my friends, they were so excited about my. So, so
Yeah,
it's a great camaraderie that we have amongst all of us.
yeah. I also remember that this marathon itself, Mumbai. You were pacing your friend. You finished your half marathon and you ran back 2 kilometers, and you're asking me how much should I drink, how much should I rest.
Yes, 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 yes. So this is another practice that we do. So we have a lot of debutants, full marathoners every year. Okay,
Okay.
and what we do is all those people who are running full marathons and who have seasoned full marathoners. So if you're doing a half marathon, after we finishing the half marathon, we come back and we pace the first timers.
Hmm.
So everybody is deciding upfront only, creating a buddy system. So by November, December, everybody is saying, okay, Rajesh, will you pace me? Or somebody else
Hmm.
pace me that is there. So for 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers, how much ever extra we can do with them,
Hmm. Hmm.
it helps the first timers. So there
Mm.
was ritual practice like that, which is why I asked you how much should I do, you know. So I said, okay, fine. I had to do 28 kilometers that day. So mera ho gaya 28.4 that day it happened.
Yeah, and I was surprised to see you when I was about to finish and you were still there. I thought you must have already gone to run with your friend.
No, no. So I
But
was waiting, because I had to pace. He was a 4.5 hour marathon,
mm-hmm.
4 hours 30 minutes. So by the time I had finished, I knew that he would come early. So I
Mm-hmm.
was waiting for you. Once I would see you, then I would go backwards. That's how it is. You did it.
Good, good, good. I think this is the spirit. I think this spirit you'll only see in Mumbai. I don't think you will see such a spirit in other cities,
Nice.
because I think every city has its own culture, I would say. Hyderabad has its own culture. Hyderabad has a different way of motivating or camaraderie is there. Mumbai has a different way of connecting with people.
Hmm.
And I think different cities, it's a different story altogether.
I'm sure. I'm sure it must be.
Yeah, and it's incredible. I always feel safe in Mumbai because you know I always like how people are quite chilled out in Mumbai. They're not too fancy or they don't have that egoistic approach in them.
Very
Everybody is,
they are
yeah.
very driven. Everybody is driven. Huh? They are not chilled out by any standard.
No, but see, they must be on the race. They must be like really going for their goals. But in general, they don't seem to be really egoistic or something that I see in other cities, specifically in Delhi or other areas. The north areas. It's tough to find such close community and such welcoming groups.
Yeah. Hmm.
So that's incredible. So coming back, your son is a great sports buff, cricket buff, and I think so are you, right?
Yeah.
And he Vivan, he
Everyone.
writes, yeah, and he writes lots of blogs. I mean, I've read his blogs, and he's incredible. So what does he plan to take sport like you, or he want? What is his future plans?
So he has been an avid footballer
Okay.
and a cricket fan, both. So
Mm-hmm.
he blogs on cricket and football
Okay.
simultaneously, and
Mm-hmm.
the amount of knowledge that he has is amazing. It's just incredible, and it's just the pure desire to for learning the game. Unfortunately, he could not pursue it so much because he's asthmatic, and that is why he was never a great footballer. But then once now that he's become older, he's realized he's got into fitness, so now he started playing better. But his desire is to pursue sports management because he loved
Oh.
sports so much, and
Mm-hmm.
blogging happened earlier. So he continued his blogging, and then he took up sports management as a professional uh, course.
Wow.
He'll be graduating now in June.
Oh.
Yeah, and simultaneously he's been taking a lot of internships. So that's how he's getting a lot of work experience.
Wow.
Yeah, he's working with the IPL. He's working with Star. He's worked with for Pro Kabaddi. He's worked for the Book My Show. So various other learning opportunities have come by. So, and he says that I'm learning so much more on field than off field. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that he is pursuing something that he loves to do. And
That's
when you love to do something, then you never get bored and tired of it.
yeah, yeah.
In this lockdown, he's right now currently interning for Star. At 11:30 and 12 in the night, he'll get a message from his boss that Virat Kohli and Kevin Peterson have done a live conversation on Instagram. So you need to create a transcript for them. So
Wow.
he would do it in the night only till 1:32. He would stay up when you finish the transcript, and he would then forward it to them.
Wow.
Like anybody else, you say, okay, fine, I'll get up in the morning, काम करने का है, ठीक है. You're given a couple of hours, but this, that's because you love what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wow. I think that's one quality is taken up from you.
mm, yeah, I don't get credit for that, but yeah, really.
No, I mean you blog a lot, and I think you're also self-driven, and you
Mm.
know, I've learned a lot from you. You know, every time I come to Mumbai, we
Mm.
have a breakfast meeting for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I said that let me catch you first before you get busy. So that's how it
So
is.
that breakfast meeting is like 2.5 hours minimum, you know, and we discuss nearly everything under the sun.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, I need to understand, no, because you are not available. I'm not like one of those other Hyderabad trainers like you know, like you have, who can meet you every day. You know, I get गिन चुन के 2-3 महीने में एक मीटिंग मिलेगा. You know, that's how it is there.
No, even Hyderabad people don't get to meet me because now again with this Corona thing, so I've not met many of my runners for the
But
last.
every day you are available online, boss. I must admire you. I admire you. Your passion for this lockdown has been phenomenal. Really, really. Just amazing. Really.
No, I
So
just wanted to make sure that I keep motivating, everybody, and they do something. So I just want to keep them healthy and going. So that's what I felt. I felt if I'm connected with them every day, I think they'll also feel nice. Well, it's a tough time for everybody. It's not easy. Or everybody is going through a bad phase and tough phase. You
mm,
know, and at that point of time, I think we need to be there for everybody, each other. And I think that's the reason again I'm having this 2020 also is when people share the experiences, they also get motivation. They
mm,
also get direction. They say, okay, I can take inspiration from Rajesh ji. I can take inspiration from Abhishek, Monica. Oh, if they have done it, they have shared this, so it's possible. It's not that you know things do not get right. I think that's a that's an incredible experience, and I feel we did not go out to interview somebody because in our MFS itself we got so many achievers in our group.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
um, every person
I,
has a great story to tell.
I was so much looking forward. I thought a lot of people would come to Bombay for the marathon, but unfortunately, very few came. So, but I'm now going to make it a point to come to Hyderabad so that I can meet everybody.
Yeah, please come to Hyderabad. I think that will be good when this whole lockdown thing finishes. So, what are you doing during lockdown? I heard you're getting up late. I get your 5:30 every day. I get your WhatsApp message at 5:30.
So yeah, the morning messages are always there. That's been going on for a long time. I think so. It's been almost now 9 years now, 10 years now. So that is there. But fitness is just basic. I'm not been doing too much, which is quite
Hmm.
surprising because as it is, I was on a break. April, March,
Hmm.
April, I decided I'd spoken to you. And
Hmm.
I said, let's continue this break. When do I'm so disciplined. Right now, if this sort of indiscipline is happening, let it continue. Enjoy that are happening. फिर नहीं आने वाला है. So I said, okay, fine. And so I'm just taking fitness. I'm working out every day, but it's just basic. Now I've done not more than 9 kilometers in a run. I work out a little bit here and there, upper body, whatever you can do, some core workouts. But besides that, in my free time, three things I've learned that I've taken up new. One
Hmm.
is, um, I've spoken to you about writing a book.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So I have started that. So
Wow.
I'm writing that book. That's there. Second is uh, I'm working with a couple of friends of mine who are running an NGO, and we are providing free meals to the migrant workers and all, the needy.
Oh, that's very thoughtful. Yeah, yeah.
So these people are doing a phenomenal job. And I thought, I can give my some time there. So we are taking care of the logistics, because these people are distributing around 1,30,000 meals every day.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So whatever little bit I can contribute to them. So certain contribution as far as the logistic goes, I look after that. And the third is I'm learning to trade on the equity markets. I'm learning because I feel in this new age, passive income is going to be extremely important.
Mm.
So understanding how technicals work, because I'm more of an analyst, no. So I'm learning technicals on the equity market. So
Cool.
and with that I'm trading, learning. So hands-on training.
Yeah, you also do a lot of NGO activities. I always get your message, specifically during
Right. So
Christmas
yeah.
and
So these are the three as I spoke. NGO work, technicals in equity, and the book that I'm writing.
good. So when we will get to read your book?
Uh hopefully in 2020.
Wow, good. And what's the title of your book? Have you named it yet?
Yeah. So the book is called The Laws of Life.
Okay.
So it's I think I don't know if I shared with you. Just like how you, if you're good at maths, and you know how to
Mm-hmm.
solve maths problems, then maths solving becomes very easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You enjoy it, and you don't mind doing more and more sums because you know the formulas. Similarly, life also has certain formulas, and if you understand those formulas and laws and you apply them, then no matter you have your ups and downs, you'll always be happy.
Wow.
Hmm.
I think that will be an interesting book to read.
Hopefully. So all the experiences which I have gone through,
Mm-hmm.
so
Good, sir.
trying to put on paper and so that others can share. I can share it with others.
Good, good. Great. It was very nice speaking to you, sir Ji.
Mm-hmm.
And please give my regards to Madam.
Vaishali,
Uh,
definitely.
yeah.
It's been a
I
pleasure talking to you and sharing this journey.
I always remember a dialogue,
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Rajesh speaks more to you than to me.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Uh, so and now I think with this lockdown, you must be speaking more to her, and you must be fed up of you now. Say, oh
You
God,
have to be hearing
I
from
think
her. You have to be
you
hearing
should.
from her.
She must be saying now, please get your coach back and speak to him. I'm tired of listening to you now whole day. Huh?
You have to ask her, and she will give you her own answer. That's how it is, really.
Cool. So nice. I think you're a lovely family. I think I've come to your home and I've
Yeah.
had awesome food. And Madam is also such a lovely, graceful woman. I think it's
She ran a
incredible.
first half marathon. She ran a first half marathon. We did in Bhutan this year.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You told me about it.
In March we did it.
Yeah. So good, good. I think God bless you all. I think I'm eager to meet all of you all again.
Yes.
Hopefully, after this lockdown gets over, we
Yeah.
will have another breakfast session together.
Anytime, anytime. It's been a pleasure talking to you,
Same
and
here.
it's a great series that you're doing because I heard a little bit of Uday's talk, which is very interesting, and of course Abhishek also. So I'm going to listen to the others also.
Good, good, good. So thank you so much,
Thank
and all the best. And I'll see you soon.
you. Yes, soon, soon we'll be back on the road.
Back, back.
Hello, my target still remains. Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
I've spoken to you about it. Okay.
We will keep chasing targets. Don't worry,
Yeah, yeah.
and shooting them down.
Okay.
Okay, take care. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Good
Thank
night.
you.